Plans can be simple, but what are they in essence? Come on now, this is key. More than that. Setting your outcome, the end you have in mind and how you're going to get there. It works on the micro basis as well as the macro basis. So I'm just using this as an example, but you know darn well in their first year, they're probably going to need to have a plan. Why? You know, take a look at the fund development. They have different target markets they're going after? Yeah. Do they need to figure out the goals and the values of that target market? Yeah. Do they need to figure out the value proposition of those? Yes. Do they need to figure out the positioning, meaning the wording and that kind of thing, the message? Yeah. That's a plan. But do they want the board to know what's going on? Yeah. Is the board involved? Yes, the board is involved. They probably have a committee involved in that. Both parts are working together, the staff and the board. This is your linker. How's it done? Key stakeholders. Set your out. Do you know what this? Do you know how to do this now? The same principle involved. So let's take a look at the milestones for the marketing plan. We looked at milestones for something that's very measurable, right? You had conversion rates. You could see how many people needed to go through a certain hopper to get to the next hopper. But what about something like capacity building? Getting a marketing plan, improving your IT. Do you need to be that direct on? It depends, but probably a good idea. So how do you do this? Well, the first thing is you start with the end in mind. Why are you creating a marketing plan? And there's what end result, what lasting change do you want to see happen because you created a marketing plan? How many of you all out there think you need PR? All the organizations I talk to, they all think that, now this, I'm opinionated, this is my opinion, they all think that they just need to be known. Funding would rise and that kind of thing. Oh, jeez. Does the Corporation for Supportive Housing need to be known to achieve their outcome? No. Well, by a certain folks. Is that a PR plan where they get lots of press? No. It's probably better if they go and meet one-on-one with each housing authority and each particular politician, right? Yeah. Yes. The key thing is start with the end in mind. Now, this principle, and I'm romping on it a little bit here, it's critical for those of you who sit on boards or other committees. How many of you are on a committee where the goal isn't defined and nobody has any tasks that are set with any date? Oh, it's so much fun. Really? How much does that particular committee accomplish? Zippo, why? They're all volunteers. Is their butt on the line for any time frame? No. Is it? No. I was with a grant maker group and on a certain subject, you know, a sector and each time we'd bring in new speakers. Well, we've got to learn where to give our money. Well, we're just going to be educated to death. We decided we had 2 goals in life and that we were going to achieve them by a certain time frame. What happened? Woo! Within about 1.5 years, we convened all the mayors to talk about that particular subject. It's simply, you got smart people in a room, but you need to give them a chance to succeed. And that means you need to ask them to define what lasting change, what outcome they're going to achieve by what time. And then what are they going to automatically do? If they really want, they're going to figure out how to get there. Just make sure you keep having them define what the outcome is and what the milestones are, and you'll see a lot more success. So back to this. Start with the end in mind. Figure out why you want a marketing plan. You're going to define your outcomes. We want this marketing plan to achieve. For CRC, we want this marketing plan to get us known to all of the federal agencies that have this type of money. We want a marketing plan that will help us identify all the top donors. We want a marketing plan that, do you follow me? Then they probably need to hire a consultant, get a draft, have the board review it, and then they're done, right? Well, let's set some time frames. What happens if you don't have a consultant hired by 7/31? Are you going to have board review by 10/15? No. These are simple things. I'm sure you guys do them all the time. Any questions? Okay, so just to review, this is looking at how you set the milestones for an organization that are not measurable by quantity, for example. They are defined by quality, which is why you set your outcomes, and they're defined by time. So just a little bit different as far as your initiatives and your milestones for a capacity building objective versus one that's related to your programs. Okay. So what's this all look like when you get it all boiled down? You have a strategic outcome plan and you have an annual outcome plan. Strategic plan is basically defined what your purpose in life is. We've gone over how that changes when you ask some key questions. It defines your 3-year impact, what measurable difference you're going to make within a certain time frame. Defines how you're going to get there, the key things you're going to focus on, what you got to achieve. And if at all possible, you want those to be measurable and quantifiable by time. And the annual milestones to make sure you're going to get there. That's over 3 years. Each year, what are you going to get? And then annually, you're going to figure out, okay, what are we going to focus on this year? Which basically is just going to tie right into your 3-year initiatives. And what's your quarterly milestone? How long do you think this takes to do? Give me 3, give me 4, give me 5. Any guesses? 2 months, 6 months? 6 months. Looks like 6 months has it. You're absolutely right, ladies and gentlemen. It usually does take about that much time. It usually includes a budget, 3 years, just big picture. Where do you think the most change happens, though?
Deciding to do it.
Yep. What's the 20% that makes 80% of the difference? What's that? Setting objectives. I'm sorry? Targeting the donors. Oh, I see a head shaking back there. They don't have it yet, do they? Giving the board the direction. The outcome. Well, that's interesting. What made the 20%, the 80% of the difference for CRC? They defined how they were going to succeed. What made 80% of the difference for Volunteer San Diego? Exactly. I want to thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.